Right, I believe my voice is clearly audible to you. So quickly type a yes in the chat section if you are able to hear me properly, and we'll quickly get started. Yes, thank you so much for confirming, and I believe that voice is clearly audible to all of you. And before I get started, something about ourselves. We are 14 years young organization in the domain of training and development, and we have been helping students to realize their dream, and we are assisting students out there to get their first ever job. A little bit about the trainer. This is Chetan Kumar A, master trainer working with Ethnus for more than 5 years right now, and I have the experience of training 20,000 plus students in leading universities like IITs, NITs, and VITs. Just like I said earlier, this is the 8th masterclass series under WIPRO Elite NLTH 2021. If you have missed our previous webinars, you can just go through the videos that we have posted on our official YouTube channel. Great. So having said that, so the first question coming up for you shortly, but before that, if you have not joined our Telegram channel yet, this is the right time for you to join it, and the link for the Telegram channel is available in the chat section. So quickly access that and join our Telegram channel. And what's the benefit you get if you just join our Telegram channel? The quizzes will be uploaded whenever it's the recruitment time. Plenty of quizzes related to the recruitment will be posted on our official Telegram channel, and also you will get a lot of updates regarding our future training as well. So please do the needful. The link is available in the chat section. Join our Telegram channel. Right, so the first question of the evening is this one for all of you, and I'll give you 1 minute of time to solve this problem, and let me check who is the first one to answer. Great. And the moment when you get the answer, you can just post that answer in the chat section. Timer is running. Last 20 seconds of time. Yes, your time is up, and I will just proceed with the calculation part. See, this is a very famous question format for WIPRO Elite, and most of the people waste their time successfully just by doing unwanted things in this kind of a problem. See, now understanding is they're asking you what is the least perfect square number which is divisible by each of 25, 70, and 35. So that means you have to check for a perfect square number first of all, and that number should be divisible by 25, 70, and 35. Now understanding is they are asking you least, right? The least one. So it is definitely understood that the number has to be divisible by 25, 70, and 35. So whatever number you're taking, that has to be a multiple of these three numbers for sure. So it is ideal to calculate the LCM of these three numbers, right? So what would be the LCM of these three numbers? 25, 70, and 35. You can do it in any way, maybe long division method or prime factorization method, whichever is easy for you, you can go with that. So now initially I'll go with Taven's table itself. Let's say 7. So 25 is here, and 10 will be here, and this will be for 5, right? And let's say next goes in 2's table. That means 25 is here, and this will be 5, and this will be 5 again. Now the remaining will be, you can see here, 5 5s are 25, 5 1s are 5 1s are. So remaining is again 5, right? So 1 1 1, and this is where you have to stop. And now in the L format you have to multiply all the elements. So we'll get 7 into 2, okay, 7 into 2, and then 5 into 5 as the numbers. So this is the LCM of these three numbers, 25, 70 and 35. And now they're asking you which is the least perfect square that is divisible by all these numbers, right? Now let's say if I take the square root of this one, 5 into 5, this will come out of the square root and it will give you a 5 as the answer. But 7 into 2, they don't have pairs, right? So in that case, in order to give them pair, definitely you need a number like 7 into 2. So this will be the perfect square number. And what is this answer? And again, don't waste your time. This itself is your answer. Don't waste your time in calculation part. You can just do it like this. See, 5 into 2 combination will give you 1 0, right? Directly do that way. 5 into 2 combination will give me a 0. One more 5 into 2 combination is there. That will also give you a 0. Remaining is 7 into 7. What is 7 into 7? 49. Your answer will be 4900. Answer. Option C. What did I do? The least perfect square which is divisible by 25, 70 and 35. I've taken the LCM first. I've got the LCM as 7 into 2 into 5 into 5. Now 5 into 5 already pair has happened, right? So 7 and 2, they don't have a pair. So I've just added it over here, 7 into 2. And only if I take the square root now, it will give you a number. Okay. So now this itself is the number, least number which will be divisible by 25, 70 and 35. And it's a perfect square also. And what is this number? How to calculate? Yes, just by following the strategy that I recommended. Quickly acknowledge your understanding in the chat if you have understood this. And the next question directly coming up for all of you is this one. Make sure that you will acknowledge your understanding in the chat in terms of a clear for the problem that I explained now. Great. The next question is from time and work concept, and your 1 minute time starts now, and I will just check the chat section whether or not you have understood this problem. Okay, Srinivas Reddy was the first one to answer the previous question. That's really great. Congratulations, Srinivas, you have got the answer correct. The next question is ready and the timer is running. The moment when the answer is available, you can just post it in the chat section. So last 30 seconds of time. Right, the time is up and I will just go with the calculation part. See, this is a problem on time and work. This is a problem on time and work, and read the question carefully before you answer this kind of a problem. Ram and Sham are assigned to build a boat. Ram alone can build the boat in 10 days by working 9 hours per day. That means each day he will be working only 9 hours, right? And he will complete the work in 10 days. And similarly, this is for Ram, right? And similarly for Sham, he will be working 10 hours per day, but he will work only for 8 days. Okay, 10 hours per day. So he will complete the task in 8 days itself. Now let's say hours will not be uniform here, and the days are also not uniform because they both are working different duration per single day and they are completing the work in different number of days, right? So just make it normal. How will you do it? 9 hours for 10 days. So what is the total working hours of Ram? It is for 90 days, right? For Ram, it is 90. And for Sham, each day 10 hours. So for 8 days, it will become 80 hours. So Sham will complete the same work in 80 hours. So 90 hours and 80 hours. And here is where you have to understand the concept of time, efficiency and work. Relationship between time, efficiency and work. What is the relation? Efficiency eta will be the measure of amount of work done in the given duration of time. Always efficiency means how much work has been done in the given duration of time. Now here we don't know what is the total amount of work, right? And in order to get that work, you can directly take the LCM of the given two time values. If you are given with multiple time values, directly take the LCM of those values in order to assume the total work. This is just an assumption. What is the LCM of 90 and 80? So I will directly consider it to be 720 because 720 is the number that is divisible by both 90 and 80, and you have to always select that kind of a number. Ideally, it would be LCM. Right. Now next is efficiency is a measure of work done by time, right? So 720 by 90 will give you a 8, and 720 by 80 will give you a 9. And now this means if 720 units of work is completed in 90 hours, what is the amount of work done by Ram in 1 hour? That is the efficiency part here. This is the amount of work done by Ram in 1 hour, and this 9 units is the amount of work done by Sham in 1 hour. Now, if both Ram and Sham work together, how many units will be completed in 1 hour? 9 plus 8, 17 units will be completed in 1 hour. Understanding? And now read the further part of the question. In how many days will they complete the boat if both work together for 8 hours a day? So in 1 hour, they both are completing 17 units, right? So in 1 hour, they both are completing 17 units. Now, how many hours they are working in a single day? 8 hours, right? So in 8 hours, how many units will be completed? Answer will be 17 into 8 units, right? 17 into 8 units in 1 day. 17 into 8 units in 1 day. Now, how many units have to be completed? 720 units have to be completed. And in order to complete the 720 units, how many days are required? And this will be your final answer. And what's the answer? 720 divided by 17 into 8. This could be your answer. 17 into 8, correct. So let's say 8 ones are 8 nines are 72, and 90 is here. 90 divided by 17 days, and that itself is your answer, option B. I believe that you people have understood this problem. Quickly type a clear in the chat section if you have understood this problem. I will move on to the next question directly. So the next question is from time and work again, one of the highly important question formats for your WIPRO aptitude test. And your time starts now, and I will just monitor the chat section whether or not you have understood this problem. Very good. I could see Karishma says option D. So Karishma, I think you have understood now. Yes, Sudipti is the first one to answer. That's really great, Sudipti, that you have come up with an answer 90 by 17. Sujita also said option B. Srinivas, Sanidhya, Angel Mary. Very good. Right, the next question is ready for you, and the moment when you get the answer, you can just post it in the chat. Right, the time is up, so I'll directly go with the explanation part now. See, here is where most of the people do a mistake, and that mistake is everybody knows that m into d will be equal to a constant, right? M into d will be equal to a constant, and that constant will be equal to work. And why is that way? Because number of men and number of days are inversely proportional. Am I correct? Because let's say if you have more number of people, they will take less number of days to complete the task, right? Similarly, if you have less number of people, they will take more time to complete the task. So they are inversely proportional. So I can straight away write m is inversely proportional to number of days. So m into d will be equal to a constant, and that constant will be equal to work. So that means if you multiply number of men with the number of days, you will definitely get the total amount of work, and that will always be a constant. And now here most of the people do this mistake. 24 is the number of workers, right? So number of men will be 24, and then 10 days is the work, right? So 10 days, so the total unit of work 240. So if you take like that, it will be a wrong step that you are taking, because this is just his assumption. He assumed that, or he just predicted that 25 hire 24 people, work will be completed in 10 days. But did it happen like that? No. They were highly efficient, so that they were able to complete the task much quickly than he thought of. So now what you have to do is just observe here, within the first 6 days, 24 workers to renovate his apartment in 10 days. So this is the initial part, and now read the next part. 6 days, within the 6 days the renovation work has completed to an extent of 80%. So that means in the first 6 days itself 80% of the work is completed. That means how many people were working for the first 6 days? Only 24, right? So that means 24 people, this is number of men, and how many days they worked together? 6 days, right? 6. So m into d will be equal to a constant, and 24 into 6 will give you 144, and this will directly give you 80% of the work. And this is what the first step you need to do. Okay, 144 is 80% of the work. So what is 100%? Calculate this. What is 100%? If 80% is 144, what is 100%? Cross multiply and you will get the answer as 180 units. 180 units. This is the total work, not 24 into 10. That's not the total work. 180 units will be the total work. And how did I get it? 24 people worked together for 6 days, and after this 80% of the work is completed, right? And that 80% is 144. So what will be 100%? Definitely it will be 180. And now this 180 units will be equal to amount of work done by 24 people in 6 days plus number of people worked together for 4 days. And why do I take this one? Because they are asking you that to complete his renovation work in the decided time. Decided time means 10 days. 6 days have been already happened, right? So how many more days are there? 4 days are there. Now how many workers are sufficient at this moment? That means after 6 days of work is completed, how many people are sufficient to complete the remaining portion of the work within the given duration of time? So that means A is what you have to find out. And how will you find out that value? Very simple. 180 minus 24 into 6, that will be 144. That will give you a 36, and A is what you have to find out, right? So this will be equal to 4 times of A, and value of A will become 36 divided by 4, which will be equal to 9. So very simple problem, and this is how you solve problems on this kind. Never take m into d equal to a constant just by looking at the first part of the question if the work is given in terms of percentage. So this is how you have to solve the problem. So I will move on to the next question. So quickly acknowledge your understanding in the chat whether or not you have understood this by typing a clear in the chat. If you have understood this problem, type a clear in the chat. Now this is again a problem from time and work, but ideally this is a question from pipes and system. Okay, one and the same, very similar kind of a problem. And let us check who answers this question correctly. Okay, Srinivas was the first one to answer. Reshma, Laya, very good. Great. Now you can just attempt this question now. 30 more seconds. See, pipes and system problems are one and the same compared to your individual work. Only difference is instead of the people's name, pipe A and pipe B will be given. That's it. That's the only difference. Now, this question, all these questions, whatever I have taken for today's session, have at least be asked once in the previous WIPRO aptitude test. So please pay attention to these kind of problems. Now read the question. A and B are the two taps attached to a system. tap A can fill the cistern in 35 minutes. So I initially suggested you tabular method, right? Time, efficiency and work. The same process is applicable here also. Just look at it. Tap A can fill the tank in 35 minutes. This is in terms of minutes now. And tap B can empty the tank. Pay attention, it is emptying the tank in 55 minutes. But both of them are the time taken by both the pipes in order to do their respective work. Now, whenever you know the complete time duration to complete a particular task, you can directly take the LCM of those two values directly. Now, what is the LCM of 35 and 55? Very difficult, right? So in that case, you can go by prime factorization method. That is 35 and 55 can be taken as prime factors. So that is 7 into 5 is 35, right? Similarly, 5 into 11 is 55. And in order to find out LCM, you have to take all the numbers, all the prime numbers that you can see in the set. So you can see 5, you can see 7 and you can also see 11. So 5 into 7 into 11 are the numbers. So since there are no powers, ignore it. Your LCM will be this one, 5 into 7 into 11. 5 sevens are 35. 35 into 11 is 385. Okay. 350 plus 35, that is 385. So LCM will be 385. Now what you have to understand is LCM of the given two time values is 385 and this is what the total work I need to assume. And in pipes and cistern, work not necessarily mean it is work, but it is the capacity of the tank in terms of liters. Okay, capacity of the tank in terms of liters. The 385 liters is the capacity of the tank. Now, in order to fill this 385 liters of the tank, pipe A is taking 35 minutes, right? Now quickly tell me what is the amount of water filled in 1 minute. How will you do it? Yeah, efficiency. You have to find out efficiency, that is work upon time. So 385 divided by 35, you can just do it here itself. 385 divided by 35, 11, right? Answer is 11. So 11 liters will be filled in 1 minute by pipe A. Now 55, 5 into 11 is 55, right? Into 7 is 385. That means 7 liters will be emptied by pipe B in 1 minute. Okay, this is plus sign because it is filling the tank and the pipe B is emptying the tank, right? That's why I've taken it as minus 7. And now, since Aman has started both the pipes or both the taps unknowingly, that means both A and B are open at the same time. So that means if both of them are working together, 11 liters will be in, 7 liters will be out. So effectively only 4 liters will be within the tank, right? So in 1 minute only 4 liters effectively be within the tank. So 4 liters of water will be got into inside the tank. And now he realized this one. He realized that emptying pipe is also open after 35 minutes. And now quickly tell me how much liters of water will be filled after 35 minutes. You got to know that in 1 minute 4 liter will be filled. This is happening in 1 minute, right? So for the first 35 minutes both the pipes were working in the same way. So in 35 minutes how many liters of water will be filled? Cross multiplication. 35 into 4, which will give you 140 liters. So that means in the first 35 minutes 140 liters of water have been filled already. Out of 385, how many more liters have to be filled? 385 minus 140, right? What is that value? 385 minus 140. The remaining portion of water is 245. And now at this moment what happened after 35 minutes? Person is closing tap B. That means emptying tank or emptying pipe is not working now. Now only filling is happening now. Now in order to fill 245 liters, how much time is required? So in 1 minute 11 liters means in order to fill 245 liters, how much time required? 11 2s are 22, 2 is the remainder, 25, 11 2s are 22, and there is only one answer choice which is beginning with 22. So you don't have to check the remaining portion of the answer. Directly you can check or tick your answer as option D for this particular problem. And this is how simple the problems are if you go by tabular method of solving the problem. And I believe that you people have understood. So quickly type number 1 in the chat section if you have understood this problem. I will give you the next question, and I believe that you people are understanding it better now. Next question is already available on the screen and your time starts now, but do acknowledge your understanding for the previous problem also. Very good. Angel Mary is the first one to answer. That's really great, Mary, that you have come up with an answer. Srinivas Reddy, Ms. Ghoshal, Kanak, Laya, Reshma. Yes, almost everyone who have answered the question have said that option D for the previous problem. That's really great. Now the next question is ready. Quickly type your answer in the chat the moment when you get the answer. So last 20 seconds of time. All right. Great. The moment when you get the answer, you can just type that in the chat. Now I will proceed with the calculation. See, this is a very important type of a problem from percentage concept. A student multiplied a number by 3 by 5 instead of 5 by 3. That means he was supposed to multiply it by 5 by 3, but with a mistake from his side, he multiplied the number by 3 by 5. So as a result, definitely there will be a change in the answer, right? Now you have to find out what is the percentage error in the calculation. Now in order to find out the percentage error, you should know the numbers, right, first of all. And you don't know what are those numbers. In such cases, what you can do is directly look at the denominator value. Okay, look at the denominator value and take a number which is divisible by both the denominator values. Now, ideally, you can take LCM straight away. That is a number which is divisible by 5 and divisible by 3. Why? Because they are denominators and you have to always select a number which is divisible by both the denominators. So I will take 15 as my number. Okay, so that means the student multiplied a number, right, and that number is 15, and he was supposed to multiply it with 5 by 3, right? That means 5 by 3 into 15 had to be done. And what answer he used to get if he did like this? 3 ones are 3 5s are, so he used to get 25. He might have got 25 as his answer, but unknowingly what he did, he multiplied this number 15 with 3 by 5. Okay, this is mistake, and as a result what he is getting the answer as 9. Now the question is, what is the percentage of error in the calculation, right? And percentage error means how much deviation is there in terms of percentage. So deviation, as the name indicates, you just have to find out the difference between these two values. What is the difference? Definitely answer will be 14, and that has to be taken in the numerator, divided by how much answer you might have got if you did not do a mistake, and that has to be written in the denominator. That means if mistake was not there, what answer you might have got. So answer will be 25, right? And into 100, since it is percentage calculation. So I think I have made a mistake here. Difference between 25 and 9 is not 14, but it is 16, right? It is 16. Difference between 25 and 9. 16 divided by initial value is 25 before mistake, right? Into 100. So 25 ones are, 25 fours are. Your answer will be 64 percentage. So the percentage of error is 64 percentage. Your answer is option B. Having said that, I will move on to the next question. It was such a simple problem for all of you. That is finding out the percentage error. How to do that? Take the LCM of the denominator value and multiply with both the fractions given, and then take the difference and compare it with the initial value before the error, right? Then multiply with 100 and you will get the answer. And now it's a beautiful question, and let's check how much time you will take to solve this particular problem. Right, so the time is up. So this is a problem on ages concept, and ideally people will purely rely on variables like taking the value of x and y to solve the problems on ages. But ideally, whenever ages problems are given in terms of a ratio, they are the most easiest, or in fact the easiest one to solve, and you should be very happy if you get ages problems in terms of a ratio. And now what is given over here is 1 year ago, the ratio of Chetan and Likit's ages was 2:3. This happened 1 year ago. After 5 years from now, that means presently, from this moment onwards, the ratio becomes, let's say, 4:5 after 5 years from now. So how old is Likit now? So observation is, let's say 1 year ago, okay, 1 year ago, the age ratio was 2:3, okay, and this is the present one, okay, present one. And the difference between the years, that is 1 year ago and present, is 1, right? This is the difference between the years. And from present to 5 years forward, okay, 5 years forward, the difference will be 5 years. And in 5 years, okay, in 5 years, what will happen? Ratio will become 4:5. And now observe one thing, 1 year ago, if you consider this as point number A, this as point number A and this as point number B, what is the total duration from point number A to point number B? Quickly tell me in the chat. 1 year ago it was 2:3, and after 1 year means it is present one, and from present to 5 years it will become 4:5. Now what is the total year difference from point A to point B? Definitely it will be 6 years, right? Definitely it will be 6 years. And observe one point, 2, that is Chetan's age was 2 and it is becoming 4. Likit's age was 3 and it is becoming 5. That means difference in both the ages, both Chetan and Likit's ages, is 2 units. Okay, 2 units, and that 2 units is identical to 6 years in reality. Understanding? If 2 units is equal to 6 years, then 1 unit will become, of course, it will be only 3 years. 1 unit will be equal to 3 years. So this is the right approach. And now the question is, how old is Likit now? You can find it out from this way, right? 1 year ago, Chetan was 2 units, right? 1 unit is 3 years, so definitely 2 units will be 6 years. Chetan was 6 years and Likit will be 3 into 3, that is 9 years. This is 1 year ago, but they're asking how old is Likit now. That means after 1 year, how old will be Likit? 9 plus 1, that will be 10 years. Answer is option A. That's how simple problems are if you're just good at observation. And especially when ages problems are given in terms of ratio, you have to be extremely good at these kind of observations. And I believe that this strategy was unique, and probably you must have not followed this kind of a strategy before. And if you feel that way, quickly type a cool in the chat section if you really feel that this technique was something new that you have learned. And let me check how many cool I will get in the chat. Having said that, I will move on to the next question. We are running short of time, right? So our agenda is to cover maximum types of problems with maximum number of problems for the upcoming drive. So this is the question for you, and let me just check the chat section meanwhile. Right. And this video will be available to you on our YouTube channel again. And if you did not understand, you don't have to worry, because the same explanation will be there on our YouTube channel. Only thing that you have to do is to subscribe to our channel and watch the videos how many ever times you want. Right, I could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cools in the chat. That's really great, and I am also feeling little great that I have helped you while solving a particular aptitude problem. Great. So now last 10 seconds. this is again a very important type of problem for WIPRO Elite, and most of the people waste their time effectively in this particular problem also, and that's the reason why they will give you this kind of a problem. And the option choices, let's say the answer choices that you have here themselves are very huge, 42 is to 49, 35 is to 141, and people will get little scared and they will skip this question and move on to the next one. But you should not do that, because these are the very important types of problem and the easiest one to solve. Two tanks of equal capacity are full of mixtures of spirit and water. In the first, the ratio of spirit to water is 1:7. That means you have a container number 1 and container number 2, and in the first container the spirit is to water ratio is 1:7, and in the second one it is 3:8. Okay, and what is this? Spirit is to water ratio, S is to W, and both the tanks are of the equal capacity or the same capacity. And now the mixtures are mixed in a bigger container. Now what they are saying is, you're taking a bigger container and you're pouring the ingredients of tank 1 and tank 2 together into tank 3. So this is tank number 1, this is tank number 2, and this is tank number 3, and you're pouring the ingredients of these two tanks into the third one. And after doing that, what will be the ratio of these two ingredients? That is, spirit is to water. That's what their question is. In this kind of a problem, you have to be extremely careful, because they have said two tanks of the equal capacity, right? And you don't know what is the capacity of both the tanks. In such cases, one portion is spirit and 7 portion is water, right? So what is the total portion of liquid or total portion of mixture in the first tank? 8. 1 plus 7, 8. So total you have 8 units. And similarly, you can just check it here. Spirit is 3 units and water is 8 units. So what is the total units of liquid? In the second container, 11 units. Now this is the first thing that you have to do. Just add the respective portions and get the total count. So in the first container it is 8 units and in the second container it is 11 units. The immediate next step that you have to do is to find out the capacity of the individual tanks. Both will be same. So how will you find out that? 8 and 11, take the LCM. Take the LCM of 8 and 11, that itself will be the capacity of the individual tank. And what's the LCM? 11 is a prime number, directly 8 into 11, that is 88 liters. So that means tank 1 is of 88 liter capacity and tank 2 is also of 88 liter capacity. Why? Because they both are of the same volume. Right, now total is 88 liters, right? And you have 8 liters with you. So that means 1 unit will be equal to how much? Yeah, so that means total 8 units, right? So how will you get 88 liters? Multiplying it with 11. So that means value of the variable that you have to multiply, or the coefficient, is number 11. So that means spirit in the first container will be, it's not 1 unit, it is 11 units of spirit. In the similar case, 7 unit will become 77. So total contribution is 11 portion is spirit and 77 portion is water. Okay. Similarly, in the second case, if you just observe, 11 unit is the total units, and let's say it has become 88. So you have to multiply it with 8, right, in order to get the real value. In that case, these assumed value should also be multiplied with the same number. So 3 into 8, 24 units of spirit, and 8 into 8, 64 units of water. And now this will be the total quantity in both the tank 1 and tank 2. Now just add these two, you will get the answer. What is the total spirit quantity? 24 plus 11. This will give you the total spirit, right? What is that? 35, and that itself is the answer. And 77 plus 64 will give you 141. So your answer is option B. So quickly type clear in the chat section if you really understood this problem. A very useful technique to solve this kind of a problem, where ingredients of 2 containers are poured into the third container and you are asked to find out the ratio in which 2 items are mixed after you check the ingredients of tank 3. I believe that you people have understood this problem, and I will move on to the next question. I think pretty easy one, and this question is from surds and indices concept, and you don't need 1 minute of time to solve this one, but still I will give you 1 minute of time to solve this. Yes, a lot of you have said option B as the answer and also acknowledged your understanding in the chat. That's really great. And now go on with the next problem. So last 30 seconds of time. What is the value of 81 to the power 0.16 into 81 to the power 0.09? The moment when you get the answer, please post that in the chat. A very simple one, and you don't need 1 minute of time to solve this kind of a problem. So what is the simplification of 81 to the power 0.16 into 81 to the power 0.09? Right, your time is up, and I will tell you how to solve this one, and you have to be extremely good at observation, okay, and you need to know some rules also to solve this kind of a problem. Right, so now the first thing is a to the power, this is in the form of a to the power b into a to the power c. This will directly become a to the power b plus c. Okay, this rule has to be known in order to solve the problem. So the format is this one. So what will be the answer for this question now? So the first step is 81 will be as it is, and 0.16 plus 0.09, I will get 0.25 as the power. Okay, and now 81.25 can also be written as 1 by 4, right? I'm writing it as 1 by 4. And now 81 can also be written as 3 to the power 4. 3 to the power 4, and 1 by 4 is the power as such. So 4 ones are cancelled, and 3 to the power 1 is remaining. And what's 3 to the power 1? That itself is 3. Answer is option A. And these kind of problems can be solved within hardly, it will take 5 to 10 seconds to solve if you know the formula well. Right, so the next problem that directly coming up for all of you is a ratio related problem, and I believe that in the previous master class series we have solved this kind of a problem, and since that is very important, I have come up with the same example one more time. Now this question is for you, and be the first one to post the answer in the chat. Right, I could see a lot of you have answered that option A as the right answer for the previous problem. That's really great. And now go with this particular problem. A box contains 25 paise and 50 paise coins within the magnitude relation 4:6, amounting to rupees 320. Now find out the number of 25 paise coins. How many 25 paise coins are there? You have to find out that. And we have a step-by-step approach to solve this kind of a problem. You might be solving it in different ways, I don't know. But when learning a particular type of a problem, please always go with a certain flow. And what steps I'm recommending all of you is, first of all, they have given the magnitude relation of 25 paise coins and 50 paise coins, right? And what is the relation they have got? Magnitude relation of 4:6. See, magnitude relation means it is the number ratio, okay? Coins ratio, that is number of coins ratio. That means for every 4 25 paise coins, there are 6 50 paise coins. That's the meaning. Magnitude relation means that kind of a ratio it is. So it will give you the number ratio, how many 25 paise coins are there and how many 50 paise coins are there. So the ratio, that ratio will be 4:6. Right, now once number of coins ratio is given, you can find out the amount ratio in rupees. Okay, you can find out amount ratio in rupees. How will you do that? Very simple. If you have 25 paise coins, if you have 4 25 paise coins, how much amount you will have? Definitely you will have 1 rupee, right? So the amount contributed by 4 25 paise coins is 1 rupee is to amount contributed by 6 50 paise coins. How much is the amount? Definitely it is 3 rupees, right? So 1 rupee is to 3 rupee will be the amount ratio. And what is this ratio all about? For every 1 rupee contributed by 25 paise coins, you will have 3 rupees contributed by 50 paise coins. That's the meaning. And overall, if you just add these ratio directly, you will get 4 rupees. 1 rupee plus 3 rupees is 4 rupees. But in reality, how much amount you have? 320 rupees, right? This is just your assumption. 4 rupees is just your assumption, but 320 is the reality. So how will you convert your assumption into reality? You will multiply this with 80, right? In order to convert this assumption into reality, you have to multiply the value by 80. If this value is multiplied by 80, since these two amounts are in the ratio, they should also be multiplied by the same number. So that means in reality, for 80 rupees contributed by 25 paise coins, there will be 240 rupees contributed by 50 paise coins. Now you are getting the total amount. 240 plus 80 will be equal to 320. Okay, but this is not your answer. Your answer is how many 25 paise coins are there, right? See, in 1 rupee there are 4 coins. Okay, in 1 rupee there are 4 25 paise coins. Now how much amount you have in total? 80 rupees, right? So in 80 rupees, how many coins will be there? Okay, that's the question. So your answer will be 80 into 4, that is 320. Your answer will be 320 coins will be there. Okay, so that would be the answer, and I don't think that answer is available in the answer choices. So just make a correction, just make any one of the answer choices as 320. So there will be 320 coins which are of 25 paise. Now can anybody quickly tell me how many 50 paise coins will be there? A very similar kind of a calculation it is. How many 50 paise coins are there? Very simple. In 1 rupee there will be 2 coins, right? In 1 rupee there will be 2 coins. So in 240 rupees, how many coins will be there? Your answer will be 240 into 2, which will be 480. And this answer is for 50 paise coins, okay? 480 is the answer for 50 paise coins, but 25 paise coins, the answer will be 320 coins. So I believe this question is clear to all of you. See, answer for this question is not available, but if you just make it to 50 paise, then your answer will be 480. It's a human error from my side, and that's the reason why I did not give this 320 in the answer choice. Anyway, it is more important to know a particular concept. Okay, so anyway, we have solved this problem effectively, and I will move on to the next question. And the next question for all of you is from simple interest and compound interest. Again, one of the interesting topics for upcoming WIPRO drive. Highly important it is. Okay, right. So a lot of you have said option D for the previous problem. It's actually wrong. See, 80 is the rupees contributed by 25 paise coins. Okay, it's not the amount, let's say the number of coins, it is the amount contributed by 25 paise coins. So the number of coins will be 80 into 4, that is 320. It was not there in the answer choice, so that's the reason why I've just asked you to make a modification there. And 480 will be the answer for 50 paise coins, number of 50 paise coins. Right, so this question is for you, and last 10 seconds of time. The simple interest on a certain sum of money for 3 years at 8% per annum is half the compound interest on 4,000 for 2 years at 10% per annum. The sum placed on simple interest. See, here you have both simple interest and compound interest to be found out. Both are required. So I will directly go with compound interest first, because they have said that simple interest on certain some amount of money is half as that of the compound interest, right? So we'll go for compound interest first. And how will you find out the compound interest? You can do it like this. Amount is equal to total amount after interest is added. How will you get that? Principal amount into 1 plus r divided by 100 whole power n, where p is the principal amount, r is the rate of interest, n is the number of years, and a is the total amount after interest has been added. So now we'll find out this. In the compound interest, principal amount is 4,000, right? 4,000 into 1 plus r value. They have said that it is 10%. So 10 divided by 100 will give you 1 by 10. And the years have been given as 2 years, right? So this will be 2. And now simplification is very important. Don't take the decimal value calculation. It will be highly difficult if you go by that. Keep it in the fraction itself, because one or the other way it will be divisible, right? So I will do it like this. So 10 is the LCM and I will get 11, because here it is 10 plus 1 is 11, right? So 11 by 10, 2 times, right? So that's the reason why I will write it like this, 4,000 as it is. So 2 zeros in the denominator will get cancelled with 2 zeros over here, and you will get 121 into 40. 121 into 40. See, 121 into 4 will be 484, and put that 0 as it is. So this will be the total amount you're gonna get after 2 years at 10% per annum invested in compound interest. So now tell me, what is the interest amount in this? How will you get the interest amount? Interest or compound interest can be received as amount minus principal amount. Okay, total amount minus principal amount. So the answer will be 4840 minus 4,000. So your answer will be only 840. So this will be the amount, or let's say this will be the interest. And now go back to the first part. The simple interest on certain sum of money for 3 years at 8% per annum is half of the compound interest. How much is the compound interest you have received? 840. So here the interest will be only 240 rupees. Interest will be only 240 rupees. Now you have to find out the principal amount, right? So how will you calculate that? Yeah. Simple interest is equal to P into principal amount. Time is already been given as 3 years, into rate of interest also been given 8 divided by 100. And if you simplify this, what you are going to get? 240 and 2 zeros as it is. And let's say you have 3 into 8 will be equal to principal amount. So here 8 3s are 24, and you will get, let's say, 3,000. Okay, and then you will get 1,000 as the answer. So I think I've made a mistake over here. Yes, that mistake is half of this 840 means I have taken 240, right? That's absolutely wrong. So you should have told me that it is 420. This should be 420, because half of this 840 is 420, right? And that's where I made a mistake. So just do make this correction over here. 420 it should be. And now what will happen with the new calculation? New calculation goes like this: 420, and this will be 100, PTR by 100. So you'll get 42000 divided by 3 into 8 will be equal to principal amount. Now 3 ones are 3, 1 comes here, 4 and 0 0 0. Okay, and divided by 8 will give you the answer. So 8 ones are 8 and 6 comes here, 8 sevens are 56, 4 comes here, 8 fives are 50, and then 1 0 as it is. 1750 is the answer. So you might have understood now what a small calculation mistake will lead to a wrong answer, right? And these kind of things are most commonly to happen in the examination when you're working under pressure. So please make sure that you are not committing the mistake that I committed just right now. and be very attentive while substituting the values that you have received in the previous level. Right. So apologies for the mistake that I committed, but the answer will be 1750 for this particular problem. So having said that, I will move on to the next question, probably the second last or probably the third last question of the evening. And this question is from permutation and combination. Okay, and let me check who is the first one to answer this question. Right. Yes, Mr. Nasir, I think everyone must have been busy solving the problem. That's why they did not pay attention to you. Yes, anyway, your query has been addressed by one of my colleagues, Hilal, and you can just find all your queries clarified in that particular link mentioned over there. Okay, right. Now we'll go with the solution part for this particular problem. Very important question it is. In an interview, a candidate is required to pass all the 5 different questions. That means he is not allowed to commit a mistake in at least a single question. All the questions have to be answered correctly. So now the question is, the number of ways he can fail is. So in how many different ways a person can fail in this particular test is the question. So answering becomes very easy if you just understand the problem like this. See, there are 5 questions, right? Let's say question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, question number 4, and question number 5. And there are chances that a person can commit mistake in only one problem. Okay, there are chances that a person can answer 4 questions correctly but 1 question incorrectly, and that 1 question can be anything, right? It can be question number 1, it can be question number 2, question number 3, question number 4, or question number 5. That means out of 5 questions, any 1 question can be wrong. So these are the number of ways in which a person can commit one mistake or mistake in one particular problem, and that can be happening in 5C1 ways. Okay. So this is one of the ways of committing a mistake, or one of the ways of failing in the examination. And if this is not the case, you have one more case. And what is that case? Any 2 questions can be correct. In that case also he will be fail only, right? So out of 5 questions, any 2 questions can be incorrect. In that case also he will be failing. Or he can fail by attempting 3 questions incorrectly. This is also one of the possibilities. Or 5C4, attempting 4 questions incorrectly, thereby getting failed or eliminated in the process. Or answering all the questions incorrectly. This is one more way of failing. So total how many ways are there? Yes, all are or cases, right? First one is possible, or the second one is possible, or third one, or fourth one, or fifth one. The person can be in the failed list only if he is belonging to these categories, either to the first category, or to the second, or to the third, or to the 4, or to the 5. Okay. Now simplification. What is 5C1? It is 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 1, that is 4 factorial into 1 factorial. So 4 factorial will get cancelled with the 4 factorial in the numerator, and remaining is only 5 plus 5C2. Simplification is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. This is 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 2 factorial, that means 3 factorial, right? Into 2 factorial, that is 2. See, these 3 factorial is cancelled out here, and 2 ones are 2 twos are, so your answer will be 10. Okay, 5 plus 10, and 5C3 is equal to 5C2 every time. So answer will be let's say 10 for this also, plus 5C4. Let's say 4 factorial in the denominator will get cancelled with the 4 factorial in the numerator. So answer will be 5 for this, and 5C5 means everything will be cancelled out and remaining will be 1. In total, how many are there? 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 10 is 30, plus 1 is 31. So our answer will be 31 for this particular problem. And I believe this question is also clear to all of you, and I will move on to the next question. And the next question for all of you is this one, and this question is from time, speed and distance concept. And let me check who is really good at solving problems on time, speed and distance. Very good. I think Devesh, you have done a small mistake, that's why you have given 32 as the answer. In fact, the answer is 31 for the previous question. Right. Last 20 seconds of time. All right, so in time, speed and distance, understand this particular relation. This is very important and this is required for each and every problem that you solve in time, speed and distance. That is, speed is equal to distance upon time. Okay, highly important formula is this. Right. Now, a man sitting in a train traveling at a 50 km per hour observes that it takes 9 seconds for a goods train traveling in the opposite direction to pass him. Observe this, to pass him. If the goods train is 187.5 meter long, find its speed. So now understanding is they are talking about train crossing him, right? That means a particular train crossing a person, let's say this is that person, and compared to the length of the train, this person's length is very negligible, right? So you don't have to bother about that one. You can just find out the length of this particular train. You can just consider length of that train. And now the question is speed. You have to find out the speed, right? And speed can be found out as the distance divided by time. So speed is a measure of distance divided by time, right? I have already mentioned this. And now which speed they are talking about? Okay, you're bothered about speed of the train, right? But understand both the trains are in the motion, right? A man sitting in the train traveling at a rate of 50 km per hour, and if the person is sitting in the train, he is also having the same speed, right? Okay, because he is in contact with the train, so his speed will be 50 km per hour. He is moving, and another train is coming from the opposite direction, so that means this speed will be the relative speed you have to consider. And if two bodies are moving in the opposite direction, relative speed will always be sum of the speeds. Okay, sum of the speeds. So this speed means it is sum. Whatever speed you get, that will be the sum of the speeds of the first train and the second train, both. Right. Now the distance. See, the distance traveled by a train while crossing an object of negligible length will be identical to length of the train itself. So distance you can consider it to be 187.5 divided by time taken. How much time it has been taken? 9, right? So 187.5 divided by 9. See, this is in meter and this is in second, right? So you will get the answer in meter per second, but I need it in kilometer per hour, right? So what I have to do, I have to multiply it by 18 by 5. Okay, conversion from meter per second to kilometer per hour. So 9 ones are 9 twos are. Next step is you can just divide it over here. You will get 5 threes are 15, 3 is here, 5 sevens are 35, 2 is here, 0.5, 37.5 into 2. And what is 37.5 into 2? It is 75 km per hour. Speed is 75 km per hour. And I told you that this speed will be sum of the speeds, sum of the two speeds. That means S1 plus S2 will be this answer. And out of that, the man's speed or the person's speed is 50 km per hour because he is moving in the first train, right? And the other train has to definitely be 25 km per hour if it has to satisfy this equation. So your answer will be 25 km per hour. Okay, so that's the answer for this problem. And in order to solve this problem, basic of time, speed and distance is required, and then concepts of trains crossing each other and trains crossing a particular object with negligible length, that is also important, and relative speed is important. So please brush up your knowledge in these three regards, then you will be able to answer any question from this kind of a set. And one last problem of the evening, and this question is from average concept, and let me check who is the first one to answer this. And this is the last question of the day, and here is where your favorite personality Binod, some days ago he became the sensation on the social media, right? Binod, yes. Jokes apart, just try to solve this problem after reading the question fully. Right, so for the previous problem, Reshma is the first one to answer. That's really great, Reshma, that you have answered that question. That's really great. Timer is running, and let me check who is the first one to answer this. Last 15 seconds of time. In 2001, there were 6 members in Binod's family, and their average age was 28 years. He got married between 2001 and 2004, and in 2004 there was an addition of a child in his family. In 2006, the average age of his family is 32 years. What is the present age of Binod's wife is the question. Now to solve this question, you can just consider Binod's family's age without wife and child till 2006, and then let's say wife's age, and then plus 2 years. And why plus 2 years? Because child was born in the year 2004, right? And that will be for 2006, the moment when 2006 comes, right? So the child will be 2 years of age. And now this will totally give me the average, or let's say the total age of the entire family. What did I do? I will calculate the sum of the ages of Binod's family without wife and child till 2006, and then I will add age of the wife plus 2. And why 2? Because age of the child in 2006, that is 2 years, and this will give me the total age of the entire family in 2006. And now how will I calculate this? See, in 2006 6 members were there in Binod's family, right? So answer, let's say the total age of the people in Binod's family when 2001 was happening is 28 into 6. 28 into 6, because this will be the total age of the entire family in 2001. And now we are calculating this in 2006, right? So how many years have happened? 5 years. Duration is 5 years, and each one of these people in this 6, right, each one of them will get increment by 5, because everybody's age will increase by 5. So how many people are there? 6 people are there. So 6 into 5 will give you a 30. So that means till 2006 the total age of the Binod's family is 28 into 6 plus 30, and 28 into 6 is the total age of the family in 2001. And why this 30? Because each person in the family will be increased by 5, right, till 2006. So that's the reason I have taken 30. So this will give me the total age of the entire family without considering wife and child. And now I will consider wife, age of wife. I don't know, I will have to calculate it, right? So I will consider her age as wife itself, plus 2 have to be done. Why? Because it's a kid's age. And this sum will be equal to average is given, right? Average of his family is 32 years. That means 32 into 8. Average will be let's say 32, and the sum of the ages of the 8 people will become 32 into 8. Now here is where your calculation has to happen. 28 into 6, 120 plus 48, 168, 198 and 200. 200 plus wife, 200 plus wife will be equal to 240 plus 16, 256. So now understanding is 200 plus wife's age will be giving you 256. So then what will be the age of the wife? Definitely it has to be 56, right? Then only it will follow the equation. Otherwise it's not. So wife's age will definitely be 56 years, and that's how you solve problems on average. And I hope today's session was useful to you, and if it actually brought at least a 10% improvement in the way that you were solving the problem earlier and the way you are solving right now, quickly type a cool in the chat section. Let me check how effective was the session. And this would give a great motivation for the host to come up with certain new things in the upcoming training program, so that it will be beneficial whenever you go and appear for your upcoming placement drives. Please do the needful. So if you have found out that at least 10% of the improvement has happened in the way that you were solving the problem earlier and right now, so I will be happy to see that. And before we wind up, I would like to give you a small insights again on our Telegram channel. So this is what our Telegram channel, Ethnus Codemithra, and link for this particular Telegram channel. To join the Telegram channel, it's there in the chat section. Quickly click on the link, and that's how you join our Telegram channel. And I'll tell you the benefit of joining the Telegram channel. Here is where you will get a plenty of quizzes related to the different recruiters papers, be it might be WIPRO, Capgemini, Accenture, Deloitte, TCS, anything. So it will be updated on the regular basis so that you can get the benefit of it, and also it will tell you the upcoming schedules of the training program. So that's the benefit you have if you join our Telegram channel. So the link is already available in the chat. You can just join our Telegram channel, and this is what our social media platform. I have spoken about this Telegram, right? So, and if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe immediately, so that every time whenever we post a new video, you will be notified. And we have our official social media platforms also, Facebook and Ethnus, and you can just follow our official social media platform. And if you have any queries related to the topic or subject or any recruitment process, you can get in touch with us with this WhatsApp number. You can just make a note of this, and you can also call on this particular number, and our technical support team will be getting in touch with you, and they will be assisting you to solve all your queries. So thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for your active participation in the chat. So thank you so much once again, and have a wonderful day ahead.